Dusty Tomes Audiobooks and Spoken Realms present The American Nation, A History, Volume 15, Jacksonian Democracy, 1829 to 1837, by William Macdonald, Professor of History at Brown University, published in 1906 by Harper and Brothers, narrated by Joseph Tabler. Editor's Introduction. Hardly any year in American history so distinctly marks the transition from one era to another as 1829. Yet here, as elsewhere, the new dispensation can be traced back to its foundations in the previous state of things. Hence, Professor Macdonald, after a brief chapter describing the conditions of the country in 1829, devotes Chapter 2 to Jackson's early public life. This chapter necessarily traverses the same period, though from a different point of view, as Babcock's American Nationality, Chapter 17, and Turner's New West, Chapter 6. The systematic narrative begins with Chapter 3, Election of 1828. Chapter 4 is a discussion of the introduction of the spoils system into national politics. Chapters 5, 6, and 9 go into the nullification episode, taking up the story where Turner, New West, Chapter 17, leaves it off, and include the Webster-Hayne debate. Chapters 7, 8, and 10 describe in succession the three important episodes of the bank, internal improvements, and Indian affairs. The election of 1832, Chapter 11, introduces a different group of questions. Foreign affairs, Chapter 12, removal of the deposits, Chapter 13, and the hitherto rather neglected subject of Jackson's interesting though somewhat blundering attempts at reform, Chapter 14. Chapter 15 passes out of national affairs into a discussion of the changes which the state governments were undergoing in this period of constitutional unrest. Chapters 16 and 17 describe the complicated questions of the public lands and surplus revenue, and lead up to Chapter 17 on the election of 1836. The text concludes with an interesting Chapter 18 on Jackson as President and Man, which reviews his public service. The critical essay on authorities is a convenient selection from the mass of literature on the period. The character of Andrew Jackson is so distinct and so aggressive that few writers upon the period can resist the temptation to group the events.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?